we'll move to audience question, is very, very critical to L&OD, that is return on investment. Okay, it is non-negotiable. Okay, must be in any plan spent. Surveys have shown quantifiable and measurable return on investment in well-planned and executed LNAs. In your experience, and specifically in the organization you architected learning solutions, how did ROI reflect in their business performances?
The ROI is really tricky business. This is all class for ROI. If only the learning and development folks have a free hand and not really bothered about ROI, I think it would be a much, much more solid, free, liberated job doing what we do. But the nature of the business is such that it asks for ROI. So typically, in most of the learning assignments that we take up, the question that I ask is to the clients and to the stakeholders is what is the outcome that they're really looking for at the end of the program. A particular learning program is like a black box, and a group of people go through it, and if they come out of it, now what does this group look like, and what is the outcome that you really seek from this group? And if we say, let's say you're doing a leadership development program, and if the stakeholder says, at the end of your program, I would want... Smita, are you there?
Yes, I'm there.
At the end of the program, if they say, I want at least, out of the 12 people who have gone through the program, I want at least 3 folks to be able to take on X, Y, and Z roles. And that's the outcome that I seek. Now, as an L&D person, you will have to negotiate with the outcome. Saying, hey, I can guarantee 2, I can't guarantee 3. Now, that's the first thing that learning and development folks really need to focus on, and saying, you will know as an L&D person how successful your program is going to be, how effective your program is going to be, based on what the kind of program that you have designed, based on the expertise that you have pulled in, whether it's internal or external, depending upon the length of the programs that you have designed, depending upon the support systems that you have provided, depending upon the projects for practice that the employees go through, depending on various factors, you will have a good sense of how effective this program is going to be. And you will have to negotiate for that outcome and say, no, not 3, perhaps 1, perhaps 2. Is that okay? Once the negotiation is done, then you just target on asking, what is a good measure of this outcome? One is, of course, 2 people being leaders. The second is saying, you know what, I need X customers to come in, or I want these guys to go out and start increasing, our share by another 10%. Is that a good measure for your outcome? And then you probably say, again, negotiating whether it is really workable or not. Now that's one way of going into saying, really look at how you now translate some of the outcome into measurable, into costs. Let's say if 2 guys need to be becoming leaders, and they need to, after they go through the LD program, then your cost should be, if these guys have to be brought in from outside, if you have to recruit them from outside, this would be your recruitment cost, this would be your replacement costs. It will take about 1 year to just catch up, and that would be your investment cost. Now all of this would be costs that you will incur. Now that's one way of looking at it. The other way of looking at it is really saying, a manager development program happens, you want to increase the engagement levels of the organization. Now the outcome is that everybody should really be feeling more engaged. But simply your engagement scores could be one form of measuring the outcome of the organization. You look at the retention rate. If you look at your, because of increased engagement, as retention numbers increase. Because retention numbers have increased, how much have you really saved for the organization? Now these are some ways in which you can really look at ROI. But the critical question to ask is, what's the outcome that you're seeking, and how can one measure the outcome? And L&D folks really need to get a little bit more strategic and a little bit more negotiating in nature to see through that these ROIs are not really the stars and the skies and the moons, but really something which is measurable and which is really practical.
Yeah. Okay. So I think that makes a lot of sense, Satya, the way you think, and I think yes, everything can't be just measured by numbers, or everything cannot have a value to it. So there are different kinds of values, while there is a value which needs to be looked at.